All right, welcome back. In this video, I'll show you guys how to create shared network drives um, across all the computers, I guess. Let's say, for example, Alex Johnson from IT department is logged in. With these shared network drives, he should be able to see three folders: one called public, one called department that he belongs to, which is from IT, and the other one called private, which is only specifically designated to Alex. Um, so yeah, let's start that. First thing first, we're gonna treat AD-Sync, one of the server, as file server, just for the demo purposes. Type in disk management. I think this is what it is. Okay, when you click disk management, we have to initialize 3 disks and then create a RAID. The reason is you don't really have to do this, but the purpose of doing this is to make sure that if one disk were to fail, the other disks can replace the folders that we have created. Is for the backup purposes, so it's always best practice, to create to have backup disks just in case. So let's keep them online. All of these. So now we have to initialize disks. All of these disks should be initialized. Now they're all online and ready to go. So yeah, now let's create RAID 5 volume. This should help us to create a backup solution. So let's add disk 2 and then disk 4. We need 3 disks for RAID 5, so we can leave disk 3 as it is. Hit next. Let's assign E drive. Hit next, and then we can rename this as file storage, and then perform a quick format. Let's just call it storage actually. Storage. Hit next, hit yes. It should create a new disk in our network drive, or in this PC. So we have 19 GB available as a storage. In this, let's create some folders. So we need to create 3 folders. One called public, which should be accessible for all employees within the domain, and then one called private, which is only accessible for each individual employee, and then the other called department. And then inside the department, we can create each department that we have. We have IT department, and then we have HR department, and then we have another one called finance department. These are the 3 departments we're working with. So let's give them a share permission. So for public, we should give access to all the domain users. Since we're sharing this folder to each and every employee across the domain, we should add each and every single of them here, which works as domain users, and they should have read and write access. So share, this is the path folder, fs/public. And then for private, we can do the same thing, give access to specific people, domain users, add read and write. So far we have shared this folder to everyone across the network, right? But this is a private folder, so we have to specify which person can see or not. So in this case, we can go properties, security, and then or sharing, and then advanced sharing. No, actually, so is that security, and then advanced, This is where you control who you want to allow or not. So click domain users. You know how it says allow domain users. Click edit, and then type should be allow, but applies to this folder only. So click this folder only and apply. Okay, close. So now we have public and private setup. Now let's go to department. So let's give access to, should we give this finance department access to? Finance. So we have finance department. Only finance department should be able to see this folder. Same thing with HR. Only HR people should be able to see this folder. HR, read and write. Pretty much an employee from finance department should be able to see this HR folder. That's the purpose of doing this. IT, you can read and write. All right, now we have all the folders created, ready to go. Now we can go back to DC1 domain controller, and then this is where we create something called group policy. So let's go to group policy management. Click that, click the forest domains website. This is where all of our employees belong. So when you click employees, since this is where all of our employees sit, finance, HR, and IT, this is where we want to create the map drive group policy. Let's create GPO group policy in this domain. We can call it something like drive map drive policy. Hit OK, click that, and then we should be able to edit this. When you edit, go to preference, Windows setting, and then click drive maps. This opens up the drive maps. This is where we can assign each folder to a specific department, or whether it's public or which department it belongs to. So create new map drive. So this is where we want to give the location. So the location, if we remember from earlier, let's work with public first. Read and write, share. This is the path that we have, fs/public. So let's give fs/public, and then label as public drive. And then for action, we can either create or update. They pretty much do the same job. In this case, let's do update, and then use one of the later. We can use something like P for public, and then after that, click common. This is where we have to select one of these properties. So when we have to select this run in logged on user. So whenever user tries to log in, they automatically get this folder into their computer. We can do item level targeting, but this only applies for the specific department. Since we're sharing public folder, this public folder goes to everyone within the network, so we don't have to target a specific department. So just click run in when logged on, should do it. So, label as public drive P, yep, should do it. So hit apply. Okay, now let's create another one, map drive. Now we have to create the department. So same thing, fs/ we have IT department, label as IT, and we can give it an icon, a letter I. Update seems to be work, common, run when logged in. Now this is where item level targeting comes in. This is to specify which department gets to see that folder. So we have to add new items. We have to make it organizational unit. Click that, and then here within the organizational unit, which department do we give it to? So we're using IT right now, so click IT, hit OK, and then apply, and then hit OK. So now IT department also gets to see one of their own folder as well. Let's go through the same process. FS/finance is another department, finance drive, and then we can use something like F as one of the I'm assuming F isn't used. CDE, okay, the letter isn't used, so we can use that. Run in logged in, and then item level targeting, new item, and then we can go to organizational unit, and then we can do something like finance, okay, apply, okay, same thing. Let's do that one for HR /FS HR, and then HR drive use H. Let's use J. H is something we'll create for home folder, which is private folder for a specific user only. So let's save that H for later on. Logged in, item level targeting, target to organizational unit, and then we can do is HR, okay, oops, apply, okay. So now we have all the folders created public, and then we have individual department folders created. So this part should do it. We can simply close this, close this. Now we have to move with the private folder. This is storage E. So pretty much sharing department and public folder was how you do it with the group policy, right? But with private folder, since this folder should only be assigned to specific users that is logged in, only they should be able to see this folder. So we have to do something called, we have to go to Active Directory users and computers, and then we have to individually select the users and then assign it to it. So let's go to finance. Since we have finance group, let's select these two users, right click, and then we have to do something called properties, and then go to we go account address profile, and then in profile we're creating home folder. This home folder means only these individual users get to see this folder. So we don't really have local path. We have to do something called connect, and then we can create something like home folder H, and then the path should be same thing, FS/private is the folder name we have created. Private. So far, let's see, that's the path name, right? Properties. Oops. Give access to specific. I don't know why it's not there. Domain users, read and write, share. So this is the path, FS/private, FS/private, and then we have to add a little bit to the end. We have to add username. So when you add this this specific part, this part assigns each folder to individual users or employee, or user or employee only. So we must add this part in order to be effective. So you can copy this and then we can paste it later on. So hit apply. So we did that with finance. Now let's do the same thing with HR. Oops. Okay, properties, profile, home folder, connect, H drive, and then you can copy paste the path name should be the same. Apply, okay, Let's do same thing with IT department as well. Properties, profile, home folder, connect. We must create drive. Okay, this is the path name. Apply. Okay. Let me make sure the sharing thing actually is correct. Properties, security, advanced, edit this folder only. Okay, now should be good. Now that we have created assigned path for the what do you call it, edge drive, it should fairly work. In order for this to work, we must go to command prompt and then type something called gp update first. This command allows us to immediately update the changes or the rules that we have created, so we can see it on our PC. So let's hit enter. So updating policies. Okay, the policy update has completed successfully. All right, let's try to log back in. Alex Johnson belongs to IT department. When you try to log back in, if you click at the file, this PC, we should be able to see 3 map drives that are already here. So these public drives should belong to every single person within the organization should receive this. This IT folder only belongs to the one specific employee that are within each department. So Alex Johnson is part of the IT group, IT department. He gets to see IT folder. And this one is private folder. Only specific users get to see this. So Alex Johnson so since this account is Alex Johnson's, he gets to see Alex Johnson private folder. Anybody else shouldn't be able to see this folder. This folder only belongs to Alex Johnson. So that's how shared network drives work using group policy. Thank you for watching, guys.